It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, even in July. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hermitcraft. My name is Cub. Today guys, we are starting out here at the Snow Bowl. Got a few more things to do here, including collecting all of this powdered snow that has fallen since the last snowfall. So that's what I'm doing right now. Going through and stockpiling some powdered snow. Very nice, very nice. And there's plenty more where that came from. Magnificent. So we're going to go around and collect all this stuff, gather all this up, just to make sure, yeah, we don't have any left over. I do realize now that this powdered snow, keeping a stockpile of it, requires a significant amount of iron. Like, we need a lot of buckets for this. And at 3 iron apiece, this is not terribly cheap. Oh, there is a water source there. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go around collecting all this, and then we have a few other adjustments we need to make here at the Snow Bowl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got ourselves a bunch of powdered snow now. We got 127 pieces of powdered snow, as you can see here. So a lot more than I thought, actually. It looked like it was just like maybe a couple dozen, but yeah, it was well over 100, almost 2 stacks now of powdered snow that we got there from just that one harvest. So fantastic. Let's go ahead and pick this up. And the thing we want to do now, we want to go ahead and we want to make this whole pathway here, this packed ice pathway, we want to make this spawn proof, because this is the only place in the whole Snow Bowl that mobs can spawn currently. So I've come up with a rather unique solution for that. We're going to use some Amethyst Crystals. But not just any Amethyst Crystals, we're going to use only these, the small Amethyst Buds. So not really Amethyst Crystals, Amethyst Buds. These things right here. And you can see they have, if I mouse over them, they have a very, very small hitbox there. You see that little black outline there? And that basically can prevent mob spawning. You see it's actually, let's see, we're at 60 and we go up to 60.1875. So it's about 0.18 of a block in height, which is enough to prevent mob spawning. But the problem with these is you can only get these from Amethyst Crystals, and you have to silk touch them like I just did with those. Otherwise, they just break, and yeah, if you break them normally like this, they just disappear. So we actually have to find an Amethyst Crystal. Luckily, you might recall, over on the opposite side of our slime farm over here, this way, if the world will load in, that will be great. Yes, we have a Amethyst Crystal down here, right on the other side of the slime farm. So, I think we're going to use this, clear all this out, and is this one right here, actually? It is! Yes, perfect. That's what we need. We're going to gather a bunch of small Amethyst Crystals like that when they first start to grow. And, of course, we'll also be able to get, you know, some of these larger ones, too. But these are not what we need for our project today. But yeah, we'll clear all this out. I think we might actually get the sponge out and try and... What? Hold on. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's amazing. Apparently, if you launch a firework next to an amethyst, so that it hits the bottom of it, it continuously sounds. That's my new favorite thing. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking maybe instead of just clearing out all the water here, I think it might be better to actually keep the water here, because these amethyst buds can actually grow underwater, as you can see here. And the good thing about this is that because we have the buds at different levels, right? So like since there's one like here and there's one up there, for instance, usually you'd have to like make like some type of ladder or scaffolding or something to get to these buds. But if you're underwater, that's not an issue. You just, you know, you swim up to the next bud, right? And also, like when you break these buds, they pop off and they float at the top of the water slowly. Like that. And they come to the top, which means we can easily collect them even if we don't pick them up immediately. So instead of clearing this, I think we're going to actually try and get a conduit going. I'm pretty sure back at our base we have a Heart of the Sea. Let's just take a look and double check. Make sure we got some of that. Let's see. Yes, okay, we have one heart of the sea. We do need some nautilus shells, though, it seems. I don't think we have any nautilus shells around here. No, they would probably be in this chest if we had some. So, we'll need to get some nautilus shells, but yeah, making a conduit so we can breathe underwater there would be ideal. And that way we can keep all the water and stuff while clearing everything out besides the budding amethyst. So, let's do that. I'm gonna maybe try and fish for him. Let's see if I have a fishing rod somewhere. Probably in the tools area. We got a luck of the sea fishing rod, so maybe we can use this, see if we can get lucky, get ourselves a bunch of those nautilus shells. Also, while I'm fishing, now is a good time to mention, you can see my netherite tools we have now. We actually got a whole bunch of ancient debris that we mined on a stream this week. So if I actually hit the advancements tab, you can see we got a full netherite suit. So we got a whole bunch of ancient debris and stuff. So that was awesome. And yeah, now we're totally fully geared out with all the max level enchantments and such. And there is another salmon already. So yeah, guess we'll just keep fishing here and yeah, see how we go. You know what'll be a next level move? Check this out. We're going to take our llama and ourselves in our little boat here, and we're just going to cruise on over to this area, and we're going to fish in this area while the crystals grow, and every once in a while we'll just pop on out, hop on down, and see if we got any small crystals grown yet. In fact, let's just head down there now. Yes, we do. Very good. Although that's a medium one. You have to actually catch them when they're really small like this. There we go. There's one there. This looks like it might be a medium one. Yeah, that's a medium one. This one's a small one, though. Beautiful. We can hop on down here and get these passively while we fish above. Awesome. Listen, llama. Here's the key to fishing. Hey, listen. Listen, this is important stuff. Alright, here's what you gotta do. You gotta take your... You gotta take your lure. And you gotta make... It's almost like this guy does not want to fish. What is this llama doing? This guy is seriously confused. He doesn't know what to think about fishing. You know, while I'm here, I might as well just go ahead and clear out all the calcite and all the smooth basalt from this geode, because, yeah, it is not really needed anymore. Okay, guys, so we've been fishing now for a little while, and we got 4 nautilus shells in total. We also got this, the world's greatest fishing rod, which only has lure 2, so technically not the greatest yet, but it's getting there. It will become the world's greatest fishing rod shortly, I hope. But we've been upgrading that from what we catch, and also from some books that we bought during our shopping spree yesterday here on the server. Let's see if we can get a nautilus shell here. Can we get super lucky? Nope, just another fish. Okay, well, we've also been busy doing some other things. Namely, we've been creating this amethyst farm type thing here. Now, this is not a fully automated farm. It's not really worth it to fully automate amethyst. So we've instead set up a system where if I get down here, I can break a shard like that, and you'll see it floats up to the surface, just like so. And then once it gets to the top here, it's pushed over by these 2 water streams, at which point this one actually just went directly into the hopper here, but all the other ones that don't basically gets picked up by this hopper minecart, which I can demonstrate if I just throw this one onto the track here, and then it will basically dump off the amethyst into the hopper right there, at which point if we get out here, you'll see it collects in a chest right down here. So there's some medium ones, there's some small ones, there's also a couple fish that I've fished into there. So yeah, that's a little amethyst farming setup, and it's really nice because, yeah, you can just come down here and break them. You don't have to worry about, like, collecting them if you don't want to. So you just break it, it floats up, and then it gets collected. Break it, floats up, gets collected. Pretty simple system. And these actually they grow pretty fast when you're collecting them at just like the level 1. So yeah, you can see this one already has 2 of them growing. There we go. Beautiful. So yeah, those will all just float on up and be collected, and that's that. And then we can just fish in the meantime while we're waiting for those to grow up a few more times. So that's the strategy. Let's keep going. You know what would be really cool to have as part of like a fishing mechanic in the game to sort of increase like the depth of fishing, so to speak? It would be, hey-oh, we got one. That's good. It would be if you could actually see the fish, like the cod texture, underneath the particles that are heading toward the bobber. So like if I just wait here a minute, and we should see the particles here come up at some point in the near future, maybe, potentially. It's got to happen there, right there. So underneath that, if that had like a cod texture underneath that, so it looked like this fish was actually headed for the bobber and would like pull it down at the very end, that would be absolutely amazing. And the same thing for like if you got like a bowl or a fishing rod or a nautilus shell. If you could actually see the item with the particles, that would be actually super useful. So in that case, for instance, like I'm going for nautilus shells. So let's say I'm just waiting here, right? I see that there's not a nautilus shell that's coming with that particle effect. I pull the fishing rod back and then I recast because I know I wouldn't have gotten the nautilus shell that I'm looking for. Likewise, if you were looking for only salmon for some reason, or only like bowls, or only fishing rods like this, like these two that we've caught, you could pull your rod back whenever you saw a fish coming toward the line. It's not a huge change, but I think it would make enough of a difference to be worth adding. It would add a little bit of depth to fishing. I don't know, I just feel like it would be a really nice small mechanic in case you didn't want like pufferfish. Like right there, for instance, the pufferfish, we would have seen the pufferfish coming. We could have, if we didn't want it, reeled it back in time to not pick up the pufferfish, and then recast to hopefully get a nautilus shell, right? And let's say like this one, there's a salmon coming. Nope, don't want that. Let's try again. And let's say this one over here, let's say we cast it over here and we see a bowl coming in. Nope, don't want to pick up the bowl because, yeah, it's a bowl, right? We're looking for only for nautilus shells. So it'll allow me to somewhat select for what I want to get. There I got a pufferfish. And yeah, maybe like early game, maybe you don't want a pufferfish because like pufferfish doesn't give you any good nutrition. You know, it poisons you instead. So maybe you select for not pufferfish in the beginning of the world, right? If you're doing this early game. And the good thing is, like when you reel it in, you don't take any damage on the fishing rod. So this actually makes fishing a little bit easier before you have mending on a fishing rod, like I got on this one. And that way you don't, take damage unnecessarily on things you don't want. Beautiful. You can also select for books and stuff. Man. So I really like the idea. I think it's a really great idea. And if you didn't like it, you could always just keep fishing as normally. You could always just continue to fish out everything like you have to now. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I think it's a great idea that could definitely help fishing ever so slightly. Alright guys, so we got our 8 nautilus shells from fishing, along with a bunch of other stuff, which you can see here. And we're going to go see if we can make this conduit. So let's make our way down here. And let's see if we actually have prismarine. We might have to go grab some. We got 30 prismarine and 9 regular, or 9 dark prismarine, plus a prismarine brick. So I think that is like a couple blocks short of what we need. I think we need 42 for a full conduit. But for this case, in this scenario, I think we'll be okay. So let's go ahead and craft the conduit. We will grab our prismarine. All we got right now, eat a piece of cake, head out, and let's make this thing near the amethyst bit. Alright, so we're going to put this thing right here-ish. Let's just put this down like so. Have this come up like this, like this. There we go. Perfect. And we'll just fill in as much as we can of this. Doesn't have to reach horribly far for us. Whoops. There we go. Okay. And this one. There we are. Alright. That will work for us, I think. Fill in these bottom two. There we go. There we go. That's a reasonably strong one, and it should reach all the way through to this far side of the amethyst farm. Let's just double check and make sure. Make sure it gets renewed. Yep, there it goes. Yep, so it's going back up to 12 every time. Awesome. Alright, so now we just got to gather a little bit more of these small amethyst buds, and we should be all set. This is amazing. We can just fish, gather amethyst, and also repair our pickaxe because fishing gives you XP, at the exact same time. So, yeah, this is like the ultimate in Minecraft multitasking. And also, it doesn't affect the cart over there, as you can see. And when we fish the item, it just goes out and then gets sucked right back in, pretty much. So, this is awesome. This is awesome. Just gotta watch the bobber. Make sure you pull it at the right time, and there we go. We just caught a cod. Very good. And it'll just stay up there and then get whisked off into the chest. Sweet! This is awesome. We're doing it. Alright guys, so in just a short amount of time, we got a bunch of small amethyst buds. So, looks like we got 2.5 stacks here, plus some stuff from fishing. And then we got some medium buds that grew a little bit too much. But we can add that to our total from here. So, yeah, now we have about 4.5 stacks, which might be enough. Just going to also dump this off in here to consolidate those. And, yeah, let's head back out to the snowball. So we're going to take all these amethyst buds and we're going to place this down here on the packed ice. And this is going to make the packed ice totally spawn proof. It'll also sound whenever you run across it. So yeah, you get a little bit of a chime as you run across it, which is kind of cool. And you still act like you're on ice when you're on it. So like if I stop running now, you'll see I still slide off a little bit. But items actually don't. So like items will stop as soon as they hit the next amethyst, like that. So that's pretty nice, and you can, it's still low enough that you can pick up the items. Plus, I gotta say, they look pretty cool, right? They look like little like ice crystals growing out of the packed ice a little bit, and they go really well with the nether portal down there, which purple is basically the only other color besides snow and ice and deep slate here. So yeah, with that, let's go ahead and keep placing these down. Make this whole thing spawn proof. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, after a whole day in real life, spent gathering amethyst buds from those budding amethysts, yeah, we now have them all placed down. They look really cool. They sound really cool with the subtle chime. I love it. So, yeah, very happy with this, and yeah, this is looking really nice now. Now we need to focus our attention to the sides, namely the giant ice cubes on the side, the giant hexagonal ice cubes. Now, I thought about putting stuff behind the ice, but from what I could tell, it doesn't really show up that well. Like, I'll just demonstrate here. If I put something behind the ice, it's actually very hard to see. I guess I only have powdered snow at the moment. Let's say we put dirt behind there or something, or sand, right? If I break in here, right, and put sand behind here, like this, you'll see it's actually really hard to see inside there. Like it doesn't, like the texture doesn't really show through. It's just, it looks like ice that's dimmer, right? And that happens with a lot of blocks, like even slime blocks and glowstone and honey blocks and things like that. So I think we need to put something in front of the ice instead. And I think I got the perfect solution for this. Because right now we just have normal ice, but what we're going to have very soon is actually going to be fancy ice. So we're going to make fancy ice on all the sides here. It's going to look awesome. It's going to look awesome. Let me show you what that looks like. Alright guys, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves. Here we go. Okay, so regular ice right here, right? Typical ice. Looks pretty good, but could use a little bit of fancification, which is what we're going to do here with our fancy ice. Are you ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Bam! Fancy ice. Fancy ice. This looks way better. It looks way more interesting. You got the fancification of the curly plants in here. It also gives the ice a little bit of like a frosted look, kind of, while also not being overpowering. So this is our fancy ice right here, guys. Much better than the regular ice. So we need a bunch of bone meal to grow up this glow lichen. The glow lichen also provides a little bit of light, which you can definitely see at night, but it's not enough to melt the ice. It gives a light level of 7. So you need a light level of, like, I think 11 to melt the ice. So we're good on that front as well. So this is our fancy ice right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's grab ourselves some bone meal. Pretty sure we bought some bone meal from Wells during our shopping spree. So if we, or not bone meal, just regular bones, in anticipation of putting this stuff down. So if we go into here, Yes, we have a bunch of bones that we bought. Beautiful. Alright, hopefully that's enough, but we'll take this out to the snow bowl, put down some glow lichen. Oh yeah, take a look, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves some fancy ice coming through here. Growing stuff up here, just making sure that it makes its way up the side of this whole area. Just like so. And let's just see what it looks like, just a small bit we've done so far. Just get out here. Oh man, that's looking really fancy. You got to admit, that is looking pretty fancy right there. That's sweet. That's sweet. Okay. Yeah, let's make this cover the entire thing. I got some scaffolding we may need to use. We may have to get rid of some snow layers here temporarily, like this, to put down the scaffolding. But this should help us out a little bit. Go on up, and then just keep on growing this stuff up like so, all the way up to the top. There we go. And yeah, just keep using the bone meal. So yeah, I'll be here fancifying this ice, and I'll be back once we have everything done. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so fancy ice is now placed down on all the corners here, as you can see, and this adds a ton to the build, I feel. Like, it definitely pops out the sort of column here of ice, more so than it was before, much more so than it was before. Also, if you get like a little bit further away, like if I jump over here, yeah, these look even fancier up close, but the ones in the distance, they start to like shimmer because of the limitations of the graphics of the game. But yeah, look at that. Look at that shimmer. Beautiful. Beautiful shimmer. Same with this one over here. This one's still close enough that it doesn't. But yeah, these look great. They also add a little bit of lighting, so you can see the snow on the side here is brighter than the snow in total darkness, like over here, for instance. So that provides a really nice effect at night. I'll show you that. I also went ahead and covered this andesite with some glow lichen as well, just because I thought it looked good. And yeah, we still have the the torches here as well, but just to prevent mob spawning. But yeah, that is looking pretty good too, I think. So let me show you what this area looks like at night now, because it looks pretty awesome. Alright guys, night has descended here. You see the moon rising up. Actually, you don't see the moon rising up, it's a new moon. But yeah, you can see how the glow lichen light everything up and provide this really cool, like, almost like halo effect around each of the ice columns here. So that's a really nice effect. Also, I just want to point out, this is a really good example of design limitation with lighting currently in the game, which will be greatly helped by 118. So like right now, if I got rid of this carpet and left it and put a glow lichen here, this would basically, both these spots would be spawnable because the glow lichen only has light level 7. But in 118, we can actually have it come all the way down because, yeah, the light level will prevent mob spawning when it's light level 0, light level 1 or higher, instead of light level 7 or higher. So that's pretty cool. Good example there of the positive lighting changes in 118 coming soon. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, that's what it looks like. Let's get a fly around from the top and see how it looks at night. Yeah, of course we have the top hole all lit up, by the way. But yeah, looks pretty cool. Everything should now be totally spawn proof within this area, so I'm feeling good about it. Let's go back to the base. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back to the base area. I think what I want to do today is I want to start to lay the groundwork so that we can basically move this base and transform this base into something that is not just a hole in the ground. I think it's time that we start to look to do that. So, first things first, we got to get rid of these giant mounds of ore. Now, I've already taken down the diamond ore mound. We got a bunch of diamonds from that, some of which are still in here, left over from the shopping spree we went on. But everything else, the copper, the gold, the redstone, the coal, and I think there's lapis in the very back here still. Yeah, there's lapis lazuli in the back still there. So we got to take all those down. And to do that, we're going to use this guy, the Fortune 3 pick. So, we're going to cut through all of this ore, smelt it all up over here, and hopefully end up with a ton of mineral resources. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright guys, so material resources have now been taken down and smelted up, and they are all now condensed into this box. So, good amount of stuff, a lot of redstone, a lot of copper, and a decent amount of lapis, gold, and some coal as well. In addition to using some of the coal to smelt up, you know, the copper and the gold. So, that is looking nice, that is looking nice. I think I can now go ahead and take this down as well, which means we're going to get a ton of XP. So, that's fantastic. Thank you so very much. Beautiful. There we go. Easy 30 levels there, 20 levels there or so. So anyways, guys, with that, I think I'm going to have to call it an episode for today. Got a lot done today. Finished up the snowball. Got a new amethyst farm. And also had some fun times fishing with the llama. For now, though, that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Co. Goodbye.